The 2016 champions would have felt really bad missing those glaring opportunities. But now, come to think of it, why are we always having issues with our African teams, getting support from the domestic side, from the local side? I don't get it. Anyway, Mamelodi Sundowns lives to fight another day. Pyramids has shown the continent that they are no longer outsiders in African football, but a new continental powerhouse. It's not easy. Tell me all the matches that they have to get through to get to the finals. So there are no pushovers. With the trophy lifted in Cairo, Egypt now boasts of 19 total CAF Champions League titles. Who dares the Egyptians? Anyway, to the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles of Nigeria on Saturday, May 31st, 2025, gave their fans something to smile about. Last, at all, nine back. When they lifted this year's Unity Cup, after edging out Jamaica 5-4 on penalties. The Unity Cup is a 4-nation tournament, and this year's edition featured Nigeria, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica. The Super Eagles did not come to this competition with notable names like former African Football of the Year, Victor Osimhen, and reigning African Football of the Year, Ademola Lookman. But notwithstanding, the Super Eagles gave a good account of themselves. Sincerely, I loved the way they played, despite the fact that they had a few days to come together. The Super Eagles came into the finals on the back of defeating Ghana by 2-1, while Jamaica edged out Trinidad and Tobago 3-2. Now, it was a game between the best team in West Africa against the best team in West Indies, right at the GTEC Community Stadium in West London. So everything was going west on the night. The game was keenly contested as both sides played with great determination and strength, which drew a few foul calls. Anyway, the Super Eagles were captained by Moses Simon, who stood in for Captain Trist Ekong, who did not, feature for the Super Eagles in the competition. And then, to be sincere with you, Moses Simon, took the captain band well. He stood in very well for the team. The Super Eagles took the lead against, the Jamaicans inside the 9th minute through skipper Moses Simon with an assist from Cyril Dessas. That was a beautiful pass. We almost thought that Cyril Dessas was in the offside position. Anyways, the Reggae Boys quickly responded, as in less than 3 minutes after the Super Eagles took the lead, they equalized. The equalizer came through Kaheem Dixon. The game ended 1-1 at halftime. The Super Eagles restored their lead inside the 53rd minute through Samuel Chukwueze. It was a beauty of a goal. Samuel Chukwueze, who despite being outnumbered in the Jamaican box, stood his ground before unleashing a shot which beat the Jamaican goalkeeper. The Reggae Boys leveled scores again through Russell inside the 63rd minute. The Super Eagles did their best, There were a couple of chances here and there. The Super Eagles missed a couple of chances, same as the Jamaicans. But the Super Eagles looked more like the team that were going to take the day. But then the game ended 2-2 in regulation time. There was no extra time, and the game had to be settled on penalties. Now, the Super Eagles scored all 5 of their kicks. Well-taken penalty kicks. I hope they can replicate all of that in major competitions. While Jamaica's Dwayne Atkinson missed the 4th kick for the Reggae Boys, hitting the crossbar. The game thus ended, like I said earlier, 5-4 on penalties in favor of the Super Eagles, with Uche Chris Santos on his debut for the Eagles taking the final penalty. I had my heart in my mouth somehow because it was his debut and I was hoping he wasn't going to miss the penalty, and he didn't. The match took place at the GTEC Community Stadium in London. This edition of the tournament was the 3rd in its history. The Unity Cup 2025 not only showcased exciting football, but also celebrated the rich cultural diversity of the participating nations. The tournament's blend of sports, music, and community spirit made it more of a memorable event for fans and players alike. Now, this competition somehow serves as a tune-up for the Super Eagles who are preparing for the World Cup qualifiers in September and October this year. I hear there was a 3 point deduction for the South Africans. Well, let's hope the Super Eagles take advantage. Let them just win their games. That's what I always say from here. Now, the Gateway Games 2024 has come to an end. Like all good things will come to an end. It took place in Ogun State. It was called the Gateway Games 2024. It happened in 2025. I told you in our summary that it was because it couldn't hold in 2024. Now, it was more than just an event. It had unforgettable experiences, and it's opened some new chapters in Nigeria's sporting history. Now, from the opening day to the final whistle, the MKO Abiola Stadium and other venues in Abeokuta were alive with excitement, culture, and fierce competition. The energy was electric, with cultural displays and passionate performances setting the tone. Now, the governor of Ogun State, Governor Dapo Abiodun, he had a vision, and his vision ensured a world-class event, providing excellent facilities and athlete support. Over 10,000 athletes participated, and Delta State topped the medals table with 126 gold, 100 silver, and 111 bronze medals. Alhambra and Kogi received gender equality awards for inclusivity. Ogun State finished second, Bayelsa was third, Rivers was fourth, and Edo was in fifth position. Sponsors played a vital role in the event's success, and as the festival ended, Enugu State, who is collecting the baton now, I'm sure will be preparing to host the next edition. Now, back to the Super Eagles. The Super Eagles, will be facing Russia on Friday, but then several injuries and withdrawals have forced changes to the Nigeria squad for Friday's international friendly in Moscow. I'm begging, please, let there be enough security for our boys. The team originally selected by Eric Sekushel has been affected, but then goalkeepers Maduka Okoye and Amas Obasogie remain in contention. In defense, Captain William Ekong and Bright Osai Samuel are joined by Bruno Onyemechi, Semi Ajayi, and Igor Obu. Olaino withdrew from the friendly. It now prompted call-ups for Sadiq Ismaila and Benjamin Fredericks, who impressed against Jamaica. Injured Wilfred Ndidi is replaced by Saviour Isaac in midfield, joining Onyeka, then Onyedika, Dele Bashiru, Uche, and Mustafa. Chukwueze, Samuel, Iheanacho, and Umar are unavailable, while Nathan Teller faces passport issues. I just pray these guys do well, against Russia. It's a friendly all the same, but then I pray they do well because it serves as a tune-up. Only Victor Boniface, Moses Simon, and Tolu Arokodare remain, with Olakunle Olusegun added. Like we heard, training starts on Tuesday in Moscow. So we wish the Super Eagles all the best as they prepare to face Russia in this friendly game. And we hope that, luck comes to our side and we're able to, qualify for the World Cup. Because in all sincerity, I want to see the Super Eagles at next year's World Cup. And so with that, we have come to the end of today's edition of DDM Sports Central. We hope you have enjoyed all that we brought to you for your viewing pleasure. Do not forget to like, share, comment, and then subscribe to our YouTube handle, Diaspora Digital Media. If you type in DDM TV, it will take you to the same bus stop. Until I come your way again with another exciting edition of DDM Sports Central, I remain your host with the Sparks, Ugochukwu. Do have a lovely and sporty day ahead. Bye for now.